Welcome back to NBA Cinema. So today I wanted to talk about Zion Williamson and a couple of topics surrounding his name. And I didn't want to just cover Zion when it's negative, right? We covered the Mariah Mills thing. We covered when he was overweight, but he's balling out and the Pelicans are doing good right now. And I want to cover that too. Um, Now we're going to talk about Zion Williamson and something he said about his conditioning because that has been the story of his career. His career has been highlighted whether he was in shape or not, or whether he even cared about being in good physical condition. He had a back and forth with Charles and Shaq earlier this year, and people were showing genuine concern. And sometimes you need to hear the things that's uncomfortable because they're going to stick out and you may have a response to it, but you're going to be sitting at home at night thinking, like, you know what, they might be right a little bit if I want to extend my career. And honestly, it's in the writing now. His contract can be voided and he can be waived. So he's playing more games than ever and he's being productive. So it doesn't look like Zion's going to be waived. As long as he can continue, they can get in the playoffs, make some noise. They don't have to win the championship, but if they can stay competitive, then he will be able to play this contract out. And most importantly, get that money because most of it's not guaranteed. Yeah, that's right. Most of it is not guaranteed. So we're gonna take a listen at what he said about his conditioning, and it's very key. Let's peep it.
I think a few weeks ago you said you'll know I'm 100% physically when I'm making plays that aren't normal. Do you feel like you're at that point?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Just the stacking my days of extra conditioning over time. I'm starting to see some of those results, so I just gotta maintain and keep going.
Yeah, I mean,
So I'm happy that Zion is seeing the returns on taking his body serious. Anybody that's played sports knows that it's not the plays that you can make, it's how consistently you can make those plays at a high level. And you can't do that without being in shape. Your body, your mind might tell you to react and your body just won't go. And Zion is starting to see, that really taking this thing serious, you can make the energy plays. And specifically for his game, it requires a lot of energy plays since it's predicated on athleticism, strength, um, running the floor, catching lobs, different things like that that takes a lot of energy. And when you play that way, you exert a lot of energy. So getting up and down the court isn't the funnest thing to do when you're a Zion Williamson. But you're seeing him contest more shots from the weak side. You're seeing him being active around the rim. And when Zion's in shape, that's a very uncomfortable load to deal with down in the paint. When he has an extremely phenomenal second jump, so he can wreak havoc with any team that they face in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, in shape, motivated Zion. This is what we like to see. So I want to highlight that because a lot of times we talk negatively about Zion, but we seeing the results right now, and this is all anybody's been asking from him. You know what I'm saying? So let's give him his flowers on that. And another thing I want to talk about, now this is a few weeks old, but they asked him about participating in the dunk contest, and we're gonna listen to what he had to say and what Shaq had to say. Let's be.
Do you see yourself taking part in the dunk contest in the future?
I gotta do my part and make the All-Star game. If I'm in the All-Star game, I'll do the dunk contest. But if I'm not doing it.
Is he
You have to visualize. So I don't like when you say, if I make the All-Star team. When I make the All-Star team, you have to see it, Zion. When I make the All-Star team, yes, like all that if talk is just telling me that you're not as fully confident in yourself, which is okay. You're still a young player, but at some point, you have to say, like I said in Vegas, this is my league. LeBron's leaving, KD's getting older. You talking about Luka, all these guys that, came in before me, after me. This is my league. So his thought process should be next year, when I become an all-star, unanimous decision all-star, yes, I will be in the dunk contest. Not if I make the all-star, put me in the all-star. You don't want nobody to put you in the all-star. You want to earn that. You want to earn the respect of your peers and earn the respect of your people. But it starts with visualization.
I think when you're a player like John Morant and Zion Williamson, I think participating in a dunk contest is good for branding. Um, Jordan's whole air thing, right? Obviously, it comes from him hanging and gliding in the air during games, absorbing contact, making some of the most acrobatic finishes we've ever seen in the history of basketball. But also that visual of him taking off from the free throw line and then, what he did with his legs in the air and pumping the ball, beside his face and dunking it. That is like, they basically came up with the logo for his shoe from that. And we know how iconic that thing is, man. So when we see things like that, it's important for a high flyer like Anthony Edwards, a high flyer like Zion Williamson, a high flyer like Ja Morant to get into the dunk contest. And it's important that they compete against each other. I think these guys are just so sensitive to losing in the social media era that they may not want to participate. But to hear Zion say that he would be willing to participate is a good thing. He made the All-Star game in his second season. If he keeps playing this way, he'll probably make it next year. Zion being in the dunk contest, you throw an Ant-Man in there, you throw a Ja in there, you start to really get people interested in it, and they could save the dunk contest. Now, obviously, players, maybe they want to be compensated more and some different things like that. But Vince Carter made some statements that I'm going to do a video on about LeBron, or I ain't going to say it's LeBron, but he said 4 people were offered $1 million to do the dunk contest back in the 2000s, and one of them didn't. And when I think about it, him, Kobe, and T-Mac had already done it. Those were the other 3 people. And LeBron was the 4th person that was offered to try to save the dunk contest. And he said one person didn't want to do it. So, and I think one person hadn't done it. That's not to say LeBron wasn't the one that was, backing out that time, but it looks like, it looks that way. But yeah, man, I want to see these guys participate in that competition because I think the 3-point contest is as healthy as it's always been. I don't like all the money balls and everything because the scores get skewed based off, what these guys are shooting from back there. And you look at what Larry Bird and them were able to do with one money ball, on each rack. Or I can't remember exactly how it was. They've changed it so many times, but it feels like it was either one money ball. Yeah, it was one money ball a rack or something like that. But I don't like that part, but I do like the 3-point contest and who gets in it. It's typically the people you would want to see in it. So that contest is healthy, but the dunk contest isn't. And I know they're talking about going to get dunkers from off the street and stuff, but we want to see the best NBA dunkers dunk. And I don't even mind if you have something, to get those guys some money that are professional dunkers, but we want to see the best basketball players dunk at a high level. And Zion saying he's willing to do that is a step in the right direction, man. That's all I want to say about that, but let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time. Peace.